Welcome to the February 2025 edition of Upfront and Real, brought to you by Ohio's Electric Cooperatives and Ohio Cooperative Living Magazine. I'm Karen Whitney, Director of Communications. Joining me today is our President and CEO, Craig Grooms, talking about the core mission of electric cooperatives. And I think a lot of members may not realize that economic development is part of that mission. Talk to us about that, why that's important.
Yeah, so we take a lot of pride in serving our existing members, right? So we have a long history. The reason co-ops came into existence was to serve areas that were not served by electric utilities in the state of Ohio. And so we really take a lot of pride in serving our existing members, but it's more than that. We need to build and really help improve those communities. And a lot of that happens through economic development. When you look across the state of Ohio, we serve a number of large manufacturing plants, primarily the Honda facilities, but we also serve a lot of mid and smaller and mid-sized manufacturing, commercial and industrial consumers. And so building our communities and bringing in new jobs, new economic development opportunities is a big part of what we do.
What is it you think about electric cooperatives that attracts those companies? Because they have a choice. They can go to a public utility company that services an area. Mm-hmm. What is it about cooperatives that you think attracts them?
Well, it starts with the Competitive Territory Act in Ohio, right? The utilities that provide electric service in Ohio have an obligation to serve the territory that they're assigned. And so as companies consider where they want to locate, part of that decision process is deciding what kind of electric company do they want to have. And so if they have a site that's in co-op territory, they know that they're going to provide excellent customer service, competitive rates, and we've found and we've heard from developers and other organizations that they really appreciate the one-on-one support that they get from electric co-ops, and that may not necessarily be available from investor-owned utilities. They just don't have that personable expectation to serve every member in their community, whether it's new manufacturing, commercial, industrial, or new residential loads. That's what you get with an electric co-op, and we hear time and time again, and we see that through our member service surveys, where companies, people really appreciate that one-on-one service that they get from a co-op.
Yeah, sounds real personal.
Exactly.
Community part of it. There was a recent announcement of just such a thing, a large manufacturer coming to South Central Power, our largest electric co-op in the state of Ohio. Tell us about that. Who's coming?
Well, that was an exciting announcement. A company called Real, which is a modern, I would say a modern national defense manufacturer. They're really expanding into what I would say the future of national defense, with a lot of drone technology, AI capabilities. And so the recent announcement that they were going to locate their manufacturing facilities in the Rickenbacker area, southeast of Columbus, in an area served by South Central Power was really exciting. And I think, it's really exciting to see for South Central. They have a very strong, a great economic development team. They have a lot of outreach, and I think they helped land this opportunity for that co-op. But you look across Ohio, it's not just Real located in Ohio. We're hearing that Honda is going to expand some of their EV production at sites already served by our other co-ops. And across the state, we're starting to see more manufacturing come back into Ohio, more economic successes that are landing in co-op territory. So Real was really exciting. It's a large manufacturing plant, thousands of jobs. But it's also a bigger story for Ohio and the co-ops across Ohio.
Yeah, those could be high-paying jobs too.
Exactly.
That kind of company.
Yeah.
Well, changing subjects here, we want to talk about Project Ohio 2025. This is, 15 linemen across the state volunteered to go spend 3 weeks in Guatemala in a tiny remote village there to install electricity for the first time. It's hard to believe that there are places that still don't have electricity. They just got home Friday night. What have you heard? How did the project go?
I heard the project went well. It wasn't perfect. There's always challenges when you do projects in these kind of countries, and we've had challenges in the other projects that we've done in Guatemala, but overall it was a success. And it's not just the electric service that they're going to provide. There's a lot of challenges in that country. They were able to work on a septic system. They were able to put up a fence around a school to provide a little more safety. They were able to hand out water filters, shoes for the children. So it's more of a charity mission, I would say. If you think of the history of electric co-ops and when we brought the lights to the rural areas across the country, It's doing the same thing through NRECA International. It's an opportunity for us to do what we do, bring the lights to areas that are currently underserved. But it's a bigger mission as well. It's not just electricity. It's helping out with the local community, improving the lives of the people that live there, helping the children out. So, overall, it's been very successful. We're hoping to see the lights come on in the next couple of weeks as they work through some of the, I would say, the governmental challenges that they have there. But overall, I think it was a great success, great group of people. We have great leadership there, fully supported by the co-ops in Ohio. So overall, I think it was just a great mission.
Why do you think it's important to let these young linemen, some I think probably have never been on a plane before, or left the state, why do you think it's important to let them be a part of something like that?
Yeah, I think it's a version of how the co-ops were created almost 100 years ago. It's an opportunity to bring the lights to an area that's never had that, but it's also, I would say, more of a charity, just an ability to give back to people who really need that help. They're not receiving it where they are. Like I said, there's a lot of challenges in countries like Guatemala. And so, again, it's a bigger mission than just electricity, and I think it really builds them up and helps them appreciate where the co-ops came from, and really allows us to continue with the mission that we've never stopped doing.
Well, Craig, thank you for talking about Project Ohio 2025, and hopefully we'll see another one of those in the coming years. And I should say, from all of us, thank you to those volunteers who spent that time down there in Guatemala. And thank you for watching.